You're listening to the LP Solutions Podcast, co-hosted by ORC insider Christopher McGorty and security consultant Don Carr, taking deep dives into all things organized retail crime, security, and law enforcement. Join us every Friday for a new episode as we explore informative topics and have insightful guest interviews.
Thanks for joining us for episode 3 of the LP Solutions Podcast. I'm your co-host, Don Carr.
And I'm your co-host, Christopher McGorty from New Yorker Worldwide.
And today we are excited to have a special guest interview with Jeff Franson, CEO of Future View Brands, the parent company of Window Film Depot, CoolView, and Impact Security. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, guys. How are you?
Good. Yeah. So, we're going to dive right in. I just want to have you introduce yourself, kind of what Future View Brands is, some of the companies beneath Future View Brands, Future View being the parent company, and what you do, how long you've been doing it, why you do it, and why you should be considered when it comes to this space.
A lot of questions in the opener right there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to be as specific as I can be, but I do think that giving some context to how we ended up on the call here today together is helpful to the group, hopefully, and also sheds light on our brands and the way we look at trying to be part of the solution. I've been in this industry for about 28 years. It's the first job I've ever had after I graduated from college, and really the only job I had. I really came from a field perspective. I spent my first 10 years in the glass and glazing business on a ladder in the field doing the work, right? So I think it's important to share that that's really where the DNA of our company comes from. Is we're really field guys that have grown over a couple decades to be the marketing and sales guys and the innovators in a space. It wasn't the other way around, right? So I think it's important because it shares with our customers that we've been there, we've done that. We've been on the front lines actually doing the work from the top down. My senior executives across our brands pretty much come from the field as well. So even though most days are now doing estimates and takeoffs and spreadsheets and executive level work, at the end of the day, we're really field people at heart. And that goes across all 3 of our brands. And the 3 brands that are underneath Future View Brands, one is Window Film Depot, which is our legacy company that was started by my brother back in 1992. And that business predominantly works on national retail, large buildings, doing window film retrofits for energy control, for security, for decorative type purposes. It's a national company. We work on anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 different projects annually across the U.S. and have for 20 plus years. Our second brand is a brand called CoolView, which is our franchise company. The best way to describe CoolView is it's a miniature window film depot in a box. It's a localized business opportunity, home-based business opportunity, where all the same types of solutions that you'd find at Window Film Depot are more centralized and distilled down into a local business opportunity that is sold through our franchisees. So you can get the same type of really cool performing products in your neighborhood and installed by folks that are managed by us and trained by us and led by us from a corporate standpoint to be able to run their own individual business privately in their local communities, which is pretty neat to be able to bring really high-end commercial solutions very close to the local community. We found that to be a real needed area of development, and it's an area that CoolView is excelling at currently. Our third business is a business called Impact Security. And Impact Security was really a derivative off of the Window Film Depot business. When we were experiencing from our customers' vantage point a spike in not only the frequency but also the intensity of smash and grab crime. This was about 6 or 7 years ago, where we had high-end national retailers reaching into me and others on our team saying, listen, we love your products, the security film products, but quite frankly, they're no longer cutting the mustard. They're no longer doing what we need them to do. The bad guys are no longer a couple kids walking down the street throwing a brick at a window and hoping to steal some iPads and run down the street. Now the bad guys are showing up like a full-on assault. and they're jumping out of a truck, and there's three guys with a sledgehammer, and they've got trash bags and whatnot, and it's a full-on military-style assault on a retail storefront. So the environment changed, the threat level changed, our customers' needs changed, and so we needed to change because we were very happy to be in the space, and we were sick and tired of hearing our customers having these problems, and so we invested time, energy, and some smarts, a lot of capital into building out a whole new category of products. And we launched the Defense Light brand, which essentially is a overglazed security panel that installs over your existing storefront glass and other building glass that it's designed to just keep the bad guys outside. No longer were we okay with 30 or 60 seconds of delay. We wanted that bad guy or his team, when they showed up to a store that was protected with our new systems, to take 3 or 4 swings at it with a sledgehammer and realize that they weren't going to get in, and they ran down the street. So Impact Security was really born from our customers telling us that, hey, we need a better mousetrap. And we agreed. And so we did what was necessary to bring that to market over the last few years. And fortunately for us, it's been widely accepted as a great new way to protect stores and other at-risk buildings. And we just find ourselves in an environment today where the threat is increasing, the intensity continues to increase. And so, we like the fact that we're one step ahead of the bad guys at this point, because for too long we were actually 2 or 3 steps behind.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for providing that clarity on that. Now, Impact Security, question for you here, Jeff. Is this just for the exterior glass to the entrance, or is this also to like a display case as well? Great question. So your most at-risk glass is certainly into your door and then your side lights, right? And then thirdly, it's going to be the vision glass around the building. So we like to start our most aggressive plan of defense right at the storefront glazing, right at the actual door itself. So we have a number of different mounting methods that we use to take our panel and protect that door first. I think it's a 70 to 80% of the attacks that we see historically are either at that door or at the side lights. So we put our best foot forward right there with the Defense Light products. And depending on the threat level, the environment, the community, police response time, then we might end up taking our panels and go down the vision glass on the left side or right side of the store. Typically anything from 10-foot AFF and below, we will retrofit with our panels. Once inside the store, if somebody does get inside the store, which we haven't had a breach with the Defense Light panels, but let's say that somebody runs into a big box store and tries to hit a case with a sledgehammer or handheld implement, we do have new products that we've brought to market recently that are overlays that go over cases that are built out of polycarbonate that'll retrofit onto your existing cases and stop that guy from being able to get through. So we're super excited about bringing those to market. That's awesome. Right. This retrofitted display case, does it still have the aesthetics and perfectly clear glass and all that? Yeah, obviously we can't solve one problem and create another, right? So we need to be able to use the highest caliber polycarbonate and impact acrylics on the market, meaning those with the cleanest resins, those that have the highest optical clarity, those with nice scratch-resistant coatings on their surfaces, because certainly over time, if you're looking at jewelry on one of those cases, if you don't have that polycarbonate or acrylic properly protected, you're going to have another problem. You're going to have a scratched-up case that you constantly need to swap out. So our designs have respected the fact that not only does it need to work from an LP standpoint, but we also need to make sure that the store planners and the design team inside doesn't, give the LP guy a really hard time trying to protect his stuff. So we design for the landlord, we design for the building owner, we design for the design team and the LP team. All of those things need to work together, or you don't have a solution that can be implemented at scale. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, it's Chris. I have a question for you. Basically this episode is called Smash and Grabs, Crimes at Nationwide Retailers. And we all know that luxury retail is their target. Now, I we continuously see this, they're hitting luxury environments. Are you hearing from the luxury retailers? Are they coming to you? How can we get them, excited about this and get them to Defense Like? Because, I've been promoting you guys and reaching out to everybody I can. And I just feel like, I don't know what it is. Why aren't they stepping up to the plate and reaching out to you guys and finding out about the solution when we know it can stop people from getting inside?
Well, it's a great question, and certainly the awareness battle is one that me and my marketing team and sales team we're fighting every day, right? So awareness, as you know, is expensive. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of capital to participate in the events and to do the marketing in a very, very busy world, right? So you guys like yourself and other folks in LP, you're constantly being inundated with the latest, greatest security implements for your stores, and there's only so much mind share, right? So we need to try to pierce that mind share the best that we can. And by doing events like this and just kind of sharing what we have to offer, that's my job. And we have 2 or 3 other folks on the team that's what we do. We do awareness building. But we're still a small company, right? So overall, we're less than 70 employees in our business. We've got about 55 dealers across this country. But it's a big country, right? But we are getting noticed. And every year, our business has doubled every year for 5 years relative to these products. And oftentimes, the retailer, they want to see a mock store done. They want to see a pilot store done, and they want to live with it for a little while. So we've got a half dozen or so, probably more, mock pilot stores out there that we've done installations for, where the team, understandably, because it's an investment, right? You're going to potentially change the look of your storefront. We want to demystify the entire process for them so they can see that, hey, once you have these panels properly installed, this is a high-end system. So we're working with some of the highest end, most demanding clients in retail. You name it, we're working with them. And it's not the right answer for every application, but it certainly is an awesome answer for thousands of storefronts out there where you may not want to have the look of griller gates on your storefront. You may not be allowed to have griller gates because of code requirements, or maybe it might be because of the construction of the existing building. You might not be able to pull them in a griller grate or hang it properly. So our product, I don't want to say it's a niche product, because we have retailers that have put it on 500 of their 1,000 stores. That's not a niche. That's something where they've tested it. They love its performance. They've seen it attacked. We've got videos ad nauseum of our systems that have been attacked, whether it was during the riots in Portland or last week in San Francisco, where we know that it works. So we're in this for the long haul. We literally, we launched the category of these shields here in the U.S. about 5 years ago, and it took us 2 or 3 years to work the bugs out, right? So this is not something easy to manufacture, assemble, ship, receive, install at a high level, and do it in every climate zone from Maine to Miami, Seattle, and to San Diego. So this is not one of those things that you can just pick up and go down and get some plastic sheets at Home Depot or a local plastics guy and drill it into your storefront and think you've got the solution, because our system is engineered. We've got venting that's engineered into our system, so you don't have the condensation that you'll find in some other systems out there in the marketplace. And that venting system is defined market to market, right? Because the climatic realities in Seattle are different than San Diego. So we need to make sure that we understand humidity, that we have a process at the manufacturing level, that when we design and build systems for a national retailer, we respect the fact that not one type of solution is going to be the answer for all 200, 300, 400 locations. Building design is different. Existing glazing conditions are different. Climate zones are different. So, we see some folks coming into the space, and, good luck to them. I'm not afraid of competition, never have been, but you better be ready to put your big boy pants on, because it's no joke out there when you're trying to install these type of systems at a high level across the U.S., which we're happy to take that challenge on every day. And it is a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeff. Let me ask you this. What's the best way for folks to get in contact with your company if they want to get a quote or get some more information about this?
Yeah, certainly. I'm super easy to get to. My email address for these type of products, the smash and grab products, it's jeff@defenselight.com.
Okay.
My cell phone number, you can text me anytime you want, 404-313-1291. I'm a big texter. I'd much rather text than be on the phone. But I'm easy to get to. We're going to just ask you the questions, and we're going to tell you right off, if our solution is right for you, we're all over it. But if we'll know right away if it's not going to work, and we'll let you know. We're not going to waste your time or our time because it's too valuable. And we respect the fact that, if it doesn't work for you at this store, we're going to tell you, because chances are you are going to have other stores in your portfolio where this is the perfect answer. And I want our customers to always come back to us knowing that they're getting the straight answer from guys who've actually been there and done it.
Great.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and
Really?
our listeners certainly appreciate it as well. For the sake of time here, we'll wrap up. But what a pleasure having Jeff Franson with Future View Brands, Window Film Depot, Cool View, Impact Security on the program to shed a little light on a solution, a viable, working solution for these smash and grabs that are ever growing throughout the nation in intensity and frequency.
I appreciate that. And thanks for the time, guys. And, I was in a conversation a couple of days ago, and I'd like to share this quick story with you before I bounce and you guys get on with your day jobs, right? But we were having a conversation the other day about the true cost of smash and grab for retailers. And there were a couple guys on the phone. One way you could tell was a veteran, and one was one of these new guys, right? He's, got piss and vigor. He's probably came out of the military, former law enforcement, and he'd been in it for maybe a year and a half. And he went straight to, well, geez, we lose like $15,000 worth of inventory every time. And, that's a lot of money, right? And you can see the veteran guy look next to him and say, well, how about the additional insurance we need to pay? How about the additional headaches that we have when an employee shows up in the morning and they realize that their store has been broken into, right? That employee all of a sudden says, I've got anxiety. I can't go to work today, or next week, or next month. That turns into a workers' comp claim, right? How about the board up of your store where all of a sudden the CEO of your brand sees on CNN that night that your store on Beverly Hills or in Buckhead or Newbury Street in Boston looks like a war zone? That CEO doesn't want to see that brand damage. So I know that many in LP know this better than I, but there are too many people in LP that we talk to that get really super focused on just the inventory loss. It's the brand loss. It's the pain that your employees feel, real or imagined, that could turn into real costs for retailers. We're happy that we've got a solution we know that works. And, thank you guys for helping us spread that word.
Yeah.
We truly appreciate it.
It's the community too, Jeff. You probably see it too in the stores that you're fixing up. It's a community. People, it's where they go to shop, where they are. So it's a big effects on the community as well. And, I think that plays a role as well.
Yeah, with our products, you never need to board up again. If you don't want to have that look associated with your brand, we can help you avoid that. We know it, and you're right. People want to go shop where they feel most comfortable, and if they see your brand on TV being ransacked, if they see your brand for a week having a board up over their front door, it doesn't work, and that's expensive. And for the investment of doing a Defense Light overglaze, forced entry protection on your storefront, it pays for itself awfully quick.
Agree, 100%.
All right, guys.
Absolutely. Well said. Well, thanks again for joining us on the program, Jeff. And we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
You're listening to the LP Solutions Podcast, where we take deep dives into all things loss prevention and security. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcasts.